What is up, guys? Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
Or maybe it's Gersh1 with Sound Alchemist.
Yeah.
And we're back to answer your questions in another installment of For the Greater
Wah! This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those first. And that is what John Redcorn did. He asks, if the Emperor comes back, what would be his reaction to the Inquisition? Will the Inquisition reaction... And will the Inquisition reaction will be, and also what... So what would the Inquisition's reaction be? And also, what GTA character would make a great Primarch or Demon? GTA. So let's answer the first one then.
Okay.
What's the Emperor gonna think when he comes back and sees the Inquisition?
Whoa, what is going on?
Yeah, so here's the thing that I've been pondering because of the whole research that I did with the, is the Emperor truly a god? There might be a theory, or there is a theory that the God Emperor is two. He is the Corpse Emperor, the guy sitting on the golden throne, and then he is the, God of the Light, or no, God of the Order. God of Order, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, which one's going to come back? If they both fuse together, and then he becomes the Emperor, I'm pretty sure he's going to have a positive outlook to the Inquisition, just because the Inquisition has been forcibly feeding him.
Yeah.
He's been feeding on the hope of the Imperial Creed. Yeah, right, Imperial Creed. Now, if he doesn't come back, if he comes back as how he used to be back in the day, he's gonna be pissed.
Oh yeah.
Because he wanted to spread the Imperial truth. He believed that superstition and believing that he was a god was just
heresy.
Yeah, and it's just a trickery that the Chaos Gods want to get more powerful.
So basically, he was all about that science and truth, and not about that magic and worship.
Yeah, magic is heresy. Now. So yeah, there's two outcomes that can happen, and also taking a look at Gilliman and his reaction to the Imperial Creed when he knows for a fact that this is not what the Emperor wanted humanity to be like, but he still continues on to his fight. The Emperor might say,
you know, there's bigger fish to fry.
Exactly.
Yeah, because chaos is way more of a threat than the ecclesiarchy or any other
Inquisition or anything like that. Yep. And it's kind of tricky too, because the Inquisition is tied to the Grey Knights, which were directly created by the Emperor himself. So yeah, it's gonna be a big mess. So and then what GTA character? GTA.
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh. I'm not sure.
Mark.
Yeah.
We'll go with Mark.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Next question.
Zigzag, what are your top 2 favorite Primarchs and why?
So my first favorite Primarch is Ferrus Manus, because I love his story of like bettering humanity through technology, and it just seems like he's more advanced, all that kind of stuff. What's your... You pick your 2 and I'll think of my last one.
Because I have 3 that always change position, so right now I'll go with Fulgrim as my number 1 and Magnus as my number 2.
Why?
Fulgrim because I just like the whole color scheme of the Emperor's Children, the purples, the vibrancy, and I like how they're into art and that kind of stuff. They're into perfecting their craft, so much so that it got them to become, you know, tainted by Zeech. But I really want to see what Fulgrim will look like once he gets that Primarch form, because right now we've had both Mortarion and Magnus that have come out, and they both look, you know, pretty humanoid. But Fulgrim is supposedly like this, like 4-armed serpent, and I just want to see what that looks like.
Yeah, my last guy would be Leman Russ.
It's a good one.
He's cool.
Russy.
Next question.
This one's by Hex192. What's the difference between a chaplain and a librarian, both in the game and in the lore?
So a chaplain is somebody who you can think of as a commissar. He is there to make sure that the
the chapter
is like mentally right. A librarian is just a psychically powerful space marine.
Was it chaplains who got implemented into legions because of psychers, right? Due to the Edict of Nicaea?
Yep.
Yeah. If you don't know what that means, basically in 30K, the Emperor didn't like psychers so much. He's like, hey, you guys are too overpowered. You need to tone it down. So he sent chaplains to basically foresee the chapters or legions back at the time to make sure they were following the codex, or not the codex Astartes. They were following the right edicts. They weren't diving into things that they shouldn't have with psychic powers and whatnot. So
yeah, no more butcher's nails, stuff like that.
Yep.
Next question. I have one from Irv Mueller. Is there any means of faster than light communication besides telepathy in 40K? There's these devices. I forget what they're called. They're not Halo devices, but yes. So they're alien devices. Really, they're old one technology that allowed humans to communicate. Specifically during the betrayal of Calth, when Ultramar was basically cut off from everybody else, so they had to use those devices to communicate. But those are rare, and I think those were lost at some point. Next question.
This one is by Nicholas Nielsen. Does there exist an instance where a Space Marine has turned traitor and has vindicated himself afterwards? Basically, turning to chaos and then turning back.
Cypher.
Yeah. He does this 6 times a day.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe the Unforgiven. Or no, not the Unforgiven. The Fallen ones. Is that?
Yeah, I remember reading something about them. But yeah, I think it's a chapter, right?
It's the Dark Angel. It's like a regiment of Dark Angels.
Yeah. So yeah, play Dark Angels if you want to play that.
Yeah. They're so secretive.
So secretive.
Or maybe the Alpha Legion is, flip-flopping.
Yep. Next question comes from Gwilissa. In what way would the Imperium of Man conquer the entire galaxy and kill all the Xeno scum? In what way? Attrition. That's really what they've been doing, and it's been working for them, kind of.
Yeah.
So, yeah, attrition. Next question.
John Burney. I just got my first Tau commander. Should I make him into a Code Star battlesuit or a Fusion commander? Right now, based on the meta, I'd say Fusion, because you could honestly take 4 freaking Meltaguns on it and basically wreck face. Unless you want to go for the whole, moving 12 inches with the whole fly keyword thing with the Code Star. So, it depends what your army's built around, but I'd say go with the Fusion.
This question comes from Tom Johns. Do you think the Silent King will come out with the Necron Codex? No.
Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like he's too integral. He'd be like their emperor.
Basically.
Yeah, so I don't think they'll do that.
And they've already put too much story for Trazyn the Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, Trazyn is going to be a beast. Next question.
Axel Pfeiffer, something like that. Do you think that Vulcan will finalize the hugging of Magnus? Peace. I don't know. I feel like if Vulcan does return, I don't think he'll kill any Primarchs. Or Demon Primarchs, that is.
No, I don't think any of the Demon Primarchs are going to be killed just because then it'll feel weird to play with them. Yeah.
It's like, oh, Vulcan killed Mortarion, so now it'd be weird to have Mortarion fight, like, Leman Russ, if Leman Russ came afterwards.
Yeah. And you can't really destroy a Demon Primarch just because he's a demon, so he'll just go back to the war, but then he'll come back. Unless you're like the Emperor and you, like, completely banish him, like he did with Horus. But even then, like, Horus was cloned, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Next question comes from Fenrir44. When will you guys work with Arc on the video you two said were interested in making because he already said in comment section a while back, and he is all game for it. We didn't say we were gonna make a video, and no, we chose not to make a video on that topic because then it's just gonna turn into a discussion of ARC versus feminism, and we're not feminists, so we can't really take that position. So more power to him if he wants to create, or I think he has been creating videos on that topic still.
Yeah.
So hey, whatever gets you views, right? Next question.
This one is by. Oh no, we already answered that one.
I have one from Tip Top.
Tip Top.
He has a scenario for us.
Oh, okay.
Several Loyalist Primarchs are gathered around the Golden Throne. The ruinous powers are massing Guilliman's chosen. The ruinous powers are massing Guilliman chooses not to bring the Emperor back because he didn't want to lose the Astronomicon to guide his crusade. Discuss.
Alright, so Guilliman not bringing the Emperor back because of the loss of the Astronomicon, I feel is heresy. If anybody says don't bring the Emperor back, that's heresy. So, I mean, yeah, you lose the Astronomicon, which is a huge, important thing. And yeah, you lose the Emperor, which means demons would just flood into Terra and whatnot. So, it's heresy, but it makes the most sense. Like,
yeah, to leave the Astronomicon going. I agree. And at the same time, I do think that you said several Loyalist Primarchs. So several Loyalist Primarchs versus the ruinous powers, and you don't mean the Chaos Gods, because the Chaos Gods aren't going to come out of the war.
no.
That just ain't. It's not going to happen. Can't happen. So Loyalists versus another of Abaddon's crusades. Yeah, I can see that happen without the Emperor's help. Next question.
Olus 1 Kenobi. Which chapter of Space Marines would you be most afraid of in battle?
Probably the Black Templars.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
Just because, you know.
The Night Lords, just because they specialize in making people afraid.
What did he say? Chaos or just
Just chapter Space Marines?
Okay. Well, because if it was Chaos, any one of the possessed, so any warband that fought with possessed Space Marines, I would be freaking out about. Really, any Chaos Space Marine.
Yeah, I mean, if
horrible.
you see any freaking massive dude coming at you, clad in armor,
It'll be a 7-foot guy with spikes for balls. He's just gonna be thrusting at you.
yeah, that's quite scary.
Next question.
This one is by Rangar de Lioneth. Do you think that GW will implement specific rules in order to play a gang of Necromunda into an Imperial Guard or a Chaos Devotee army? So,
Say that again?
do you think that GW will put rules so that you can use the Necromunda models into 40k?
Oh, right now what I'm trying to think is I'm trying to think of any standalone game that GW has created with models that you can't use in Warhammer 40k, and I can't think of any. I think every single box set that they come out with that is like its own game, like Space Hulk and all that kind of stuff. Oh, the Assassin one, right?
You could still use the Assassin.
I thought they were different sizes.
As far as I know, you could still use them.
Well, either way, yeah, I can't think of any other one. So
No,
I would say at some point, yeah, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. But how or why? Like, they're gangs. Like, why would they be fighting alongside, you know, an Imperial Guard regiment? Like,
They could twist the lore somehow, and it would be pretty badass to have like a Goliath gang as like, you know, holding an objective or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
yeah.
But then a guards player wouldn't really want to bring that either way, because they don't even want to bring their regular troops. They want to bring tanks.
Tanks, yeah.
Or is that still an 8th edition? We don't have any guard players. Well, yeah, at some point.
But I mean, I feel like guards would then have to be stronger because you could bring in like a squad of like 40 dudes, and even the weakest gun can still wound on 6s.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But will we get to see them? Maybe. If not, I'm pretty sure that Necromunda is gonna do good on its own.
Yeah, it seems pretty popular that it'll do all right.
And by the time this video is up, there's already gonna be announced the giveaway for the Necromunda box set. So if you check out our footy facts on the Necromunda gangs, you can win the box set. So check that out if you haven't done so already.
Quick.
But thanks so much for sending all your questions. If you have any more, comment down below.
That's right. We do these 3 times a week, so if we didn't get to your question today, check back the day before or the day after. We usually do them back to back.
Yes.
And as always, I'm the Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
And we are out of here.